mother passed, and I would say that she kind of shifted everything that was real for me at that point of time. So it just kind of moved everything out, and I started feeling this pull towards healing. And the second shift that I felt was at my master's shrine, where I was instructed and told that I will be bringing down something that has to do with art as a module. So at that point in time, it didn't make sense. Obviously, in my one of my meditations I was sitting through, I happened to start writing and downloading codes, and I was instructed that this code, that is the 0 point activation, which we'll be experiencing today, and that's the gateway that I opened, and how the hand started activating. And Saturn method also came through as a channeled message. They were very specific instructions that allowed. I did try, and it did help me, and that's when I started sharing it, and people started joining the program to understand, to see how with the Saturn cycles, how our lifetimes are synchronized. And that's what we'll talk about today. And that's how I felt that this is something that I've been drawn to, and I've moved completely leaving the whole 9 to 5 scene to now bringing down these codes, these multidimensional codes, where I have access to those codes, and which is helping me and the people that I get interacting with.
Very interesting. Tell me, what do you feel in your intuitive heart that these codes actually are? You've drawn a number of symbols, a number of energetic imprints that seem to open people up to their innate wisdom. But what do you think the codes are doing, and what do you think that they are?
Innately, what the codes help to do is, when we are doing a remembrance, we are bringing forth an imprint, and which was, in a way, if I could say, it was programmed, and in our earlier lives. So when we are working with these codes, what it helps you to do is to innately see the person that you are as an, and to ascend, and to bring in the awareness that needs to be there for your shift. So it helps you to express yourself in the most, think of it as a child. When a child is given a crayon, they have no layers, they have no conditioning. They don't have teachers who said that you're bad at drawing. They don't have a parent who said that you can't draw. They're just expressing their true self. That's how you'll start feeling, you'll start sensing the true being that is inside of you, that you start recognizing that as I am, and you'll start expressing that emotionally. And the best part is that you're going to see it in a most physical form. You can touch it, because that's what's inside of you. So that's the most interesting part that these codes help you to do.
Yeah, I found that myself. I'm going to be sharing a little bit about my experience and what happened, and also what I drew. And for everyone here, what I found that was really interesting, and I'm super excited about opening this up for people, is that, like Sunil is saying, I started to go past the wall. There's sort of like a wall of amnesia that we have in our brain, in our consciousness. But at some level, when you opened up these codes and you started opening the field, it went into my mind, and then it started flowing through my hand, and I started drawing, these images, these representations, these awarenesses that I had stored a long time ago away. And it's really interesting because as that comes forward, you get the consciousness. Talk to me a little bit about life imprints and how they can shape us decades later, and how this kind of ties to the drawing. Because there's a really interesting framework around this that's pretty liberating once you understand it.
Yes. So every time that, if I may explain this, you feel the very basic thing that we do in the first earlier years. When I speak more about the program, it's the first 28 years is where our soul is doing the basic thing of what is safety like and how a connection is experienced or how do I respond to a stress situation. So it's learning through these experiences and these sensations. And what happens is that these stay as imprints. And the reason that we start experiencing them as adults, the same core wounds, is because these experiences are stored even before there was language, and it sits under the conscious mind. So these are actually like default settings that when we are adults, we would just react to as a reaction, even though the original context is no longer relevant. So it's just that's why these patterns then start emerging, and that's what we're trying to decode, is why these patterns are emerging and what does it point to? What is it pointing to? And that's the interesting part of this whole work, is that you start seeing those patterns from a different lens. You start seeing them as, all right, this is not what it is. It's not my boss. It's probably something else. So you start seeing things differently. And that helps people break from this whole emotional loop.
Yeah, I love that. I've got a question from Melinda, and she's wondering, does one's drawings, what they might actually draw, would that change during their lifetime? Or have you seen that it's the same throughout their lifetime? What would come through in the drawings?
So that's a very interesting question. Thank you. Um, what we are going to do, as in like what you're going to bring down, we all have an innate signature. So even though if you grow, your drawings might look different, what you're bringing down at that moment is exactly what you need to see. So to your mind's eye or to your physical eye, they might look different, but there is a signature that you're bringing down, and with these codes, it allows you to see exactly what you're ready to see and ready to shift. So even though they look unique, and all the codes that I do bring down, they look very unique. However, they are the information that will help you to move and what you're ready to move at that point of time in your life.
Yeah, I love that because we bring down what we're ready to move in our life. And I want to show everybody what I drew in just a moment, but also want to ask you about um, the movements, the colors, the process of energetic art remembrance, and why there's some things about this that are very unique in terms of a consciousness, a spiritual, a gateway type experience that really incorporates, your brain, your hand, channeling, higher dimensional wisdom, codes. Explain a little bit about that because it is very different than someone just kind of speaking an activation to you. It's like you become the activation through your hand. It's hard to explain, but people are going to get to feel it today, so it's super cool.
Yes, it's the most, I would say, the most simplest way once you understand the power that it has. It's a non-verbal way of healing yourself, and it's also that that point that you need to move and use your hand to do it. You need to, while you're working on it. So one thing that I keep, I do get a question that is it like art therapy? But that's not it. It's art remembrance. When I say remembrance, it's because you have all of this within you, all these codes and all these powerful things and limitless things that you're going to bring onto your paper is something that is already inside of you. What I help bring in your space is through these codes is for you to bring it out, so you can go deeper. And I sometimes I receive a guidance that helps you to release and even go deeper. So it could be some kind of guidance that I get through when I look at what you've brought down. And your body already knows what it needs to move. So this process only gives it permission. So it's about allowing your body to remember the release. And make it very effortless. So just enjoy in the whole process of doing it.
Yeah, I want to talk about some stories of what people have experienced as well. But I'm going to share a little bit about my art. Let me make sure that it's going to show well here. Okay, there we go. I'm showing. So I'm going to show y'all. I know that might be a little hard to see, but this is what I actually downloaded, and I'm going to try to guide y'all through this here. Let me see if I can make myself, there we go. So one of the things that came through in my session was this, okay? Now, if you look here, we've got kind of this whole multi-dimensional higher realm galactic society, which is pretty interesting, right? Pyramids and spaceships and sort of futuristic cities. And then all of this coming up through kind of like a wall. And on one side is my birth date right here, 6/15/72. And this is my earth self and sort of my like cosmic understanding bursting through this wall. And this wall is, sort of the construct of this lifetime and what I am, maybe afraid to share or the wisdom that I'm not downloading or opening up to. And on the other side of it is sort of my limitless potential. And so what this is showing me through all of this is actually that it is absolutely time to blow through the wall and share everything that I know, even if it shocks people, even if it flips reality and the simulation on its head. Now, what's really interesting about this, Sunil, is we talked about this, and I was like, Sunil, this is exactly what I'm starting to do right now, like 100%. And you said, well, yes, this aligns to the pattern in life that you're in based on your age and where you're at. Explain a little bit about that. And if any of you are stuck or trying to figure out, well, why is it that I feel differently about certain things or I want to move into different things and I don't know what, there's actually a very predictable methodology that describes exactly where you are and is tied to all of this. So, Sunil, explain a little bit about that.
Yes. So we need to firstly understand the core job of Father Saturn. So Father Saturn is here to, I call him the tough coach, try to get the best out of us. So he'll push you and resurface those core wounds that you have not addressed. So just to give you an understanding, the Saturn cycle is correlates with our lives, and whenever you feel the pressure is high, know that Saturn is connecting with you. So just take it as a sign when you are going through a tough time. You need to understand that that moment you're directly connecting with Father Saturn, who's guiding you to see what is something that you've not addressed in your past quarter or the past cycle. So these are we'll be walking through the patterns. If we'll see how each quarter reflects an energy, and like the first 7 years is the mother energy, and that's the time of the nurturing, and also where the caregiver is the important aspect as we grow. And the second 7 years is the father energy, where we are looking at someone to protect us, and also the person with authority, and we start questioning the authority. The third 7 years, which is the third quarter, is the teacher energy, where you have assimilated the first 2 quarters and now you're moving into gathering knowledge and wanting more answers. It's not about then keeping the child happy to say that the stars shine because they are just twinkling in the sky. You need real answers. You're looking for that guru,
Yes.
you're looking for the teacher. And the fourth quarter, which is the next 7 years, which is from 21 to 28, is where you're starting to assimilate all of these 3 quarters and start looking inward and seeing, what am I here to do in this world? And that's that's the whole 7 years. That repetition of quarters is 0 to 28 years, and that cycle repeats after 28 years. So depending on what you've not addressed to in your first cycle, they will start showing stronger.
Yes.
And that's when you understand that that's the core wound you need to look at.
I asked everyone if you don't mind saying your age, we could actually let you know what quarter you're in. I know that's sensitive for some people, but the thing to remember is that these core wounds, like you said, they keep repeating and getting stronger. So this is really key. If you feel like you're stuck or something keeps kind of coming up, understanding this, what quarter am I in? And then there's a tie-in here with the cosmic receptivity of the art and your hand that's pretty amazing. We're going to get into that. Now, Silva said, I am 60 years old. So, what quarter? I know there's some math involved, but what quarter would Silva perhaps be in, and maybe what are some considerations there?
Well, Silva, you will be in the first quarter of the third cycle of Saturn, which is the
Okay.
mother. So that's the mother quarter, and here the soul is inquiring if it's safe for me to exist. So the core wounds come from the point of if the caregiver is absent or if the child has been abandoned during that nurturing period. And the life patterns that one would see is, chronic anxiety and difficulty to relax, and
Mm,
being strongly sensitive towards people's moods, or sometimes even the fear of being alone. And these are the
mm.
core patterns that are derived and come directly from the core wound that you felt, not when you were 60, but when you were between 1 to 7 years. So that's how, and you'll probably might have, if you maybe backtrack and see around the years of 29 to 35, which was the second cycle of that same mother quarter, you might have felt these same core wounds arise. So you need to look at the caregiving aspect, the mother energy.
Okay. We've got a few more people asking. Silva says, yes, very true, in that analysis. Let me do another one. I'm going to ask a question for Martine, who is going to be 58 years old next month. Is she pretty much in the same cycle as Silva, who was 60 years old? Would they fall in that same cycle?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
they do fall in the same cycle. Yes.
Okay, so for Martine, let us know if those things are coming up. And of course, we're all a little different. There could be variations, but these are general themes. This is why one of the things Sunil's going to be doing for some of you is actually you're going to be showing us perhaps some of the 0 point symbol that you downloaded, and we're going to talk about what that does in a moment. Let me ask you another one. We got a lot of people writing in. We've got Genevieve, who is 71. So where would 71 fall in this spectrum? 71 years old. That's 11 more than 60, obviously. So where does that land?
So she has just moved from the father cycle into the teacher, where it's the search. So at this point, the questions that will arise is what's true for me? And these arrive from the core wound if a teacher or a belief system or an institution or a mentor betrayed or shamed you. And those are the core wounds that will probably have patterns such as self doubt or difficulty trusting your intuition, or searching for answers outside yourself, always looking for answers outside rather than believing yourself. So
Hmm.
that's where those patterns would emerge.
Interesting. And let us know for Genevieve, is that real, is that coming through in some way for you? And we're going to keep going. And some of you that we're going to get to work with here, it's going to be really cool because you're going to get to do something even beyond this with Sunil. Sunil, I want to talk about something you showed me yesterday that I thought was pretty amazing. Some of the symbols and the 0 point that you downloaded. Could you show that to us and kind of explain how this all ties together for you and what you've discovered about this? And then we are going to maybe grab some callers.
So this is the I'm not sure if you can see it. You can let me know, Darius, if this is clear.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. If you could come a little closer. There
Yeah.
we go. Yeah, perfect. Whoa. Okay.
Yeah. So this is the activation. In fact, let me just switch. Is it all right if I switch to view, Darius, right
Yeah,
now?
let's,
Okay.
yeah, check this out. This is going to be cool, folks.
Right. So what you see here is this is the download that I received, which is the 0 point activation. And the way that I work with this is while you are releasing at your end, I activate the codes and they through my hand and get transmitted through my voice. That's when you receive it at your end. So these codes assist you to release or to bring in that 0 point activation and be exactly where you are. So all these codes that you see, and also let me remind you, I'm right-handed, so I work with my left hand while working with these codes. So it's the colors, the codes that you see here, they all come in as information to me. So sometimes I might see a glimpse of purple, or sometimes I might, in my mind's eye, I would see a glimpse of another shade, and that's when I intuitively just move and work with it. So even when I'm doing a one-on-one session, I have the clients drawing at their end, and that's when I bring down those codes, which then integrate with what they're doing at their end, and it's like a synergy, if I may say, that we both working together to bring in the best that they need to see at that moment to make the shift, to release or to manifest whatever they're looking for. So
What
yeah.
is the role, Sunil, of the 0 point codes? What do they, or the 0 point field in the codes, what does that do?
So, like we've done this activation also. So the 0 point code basically brings you in a space where it's the most, I could say, pristine, non-judgmental way of bringing down those codes and activating them, and opening those gateways. So majorly what it does is that you open the channels, you open the gateways to receive what is for your highest good. And the best part about the 0 point activation is that it is coming from a space which is pure love and light. So whatever you're going to bring down is going to be for your highest good. So that's what its core work is.
I love that. I know we're going to grab some callers and in just a moment. What have you seen with some of the people that you've worked with? I've had a lot of stories come my way from your work and a lot of people releasing things. One person, M, said, I managed to unlock subconscious patterns I had not realized were informing my wider perspective. I had a stroke of insight to hold the space. He guided me through some very deep shifts. So tell me, what have you seen from your end from different clients and people once they understand the Saturn method, the 0 point energy, and they start to use these cosmic receptors that we all have? What have you seen happen?
So just to give you an example, I was working with a client and we were building her website, and she did hit a roadblock and was unable, she was not able to, create anything further. And it was a long pause, and even after me inquiring, she would not know why. She would just pause. And so I invited her to join and experience the Saturn method, which she did. And she did take a time to complete that. And when she did write back saying that she experienced a breakthrough and realized that some of her recurring challenges were coming from area of control and money. So when I spoke to her post that, we kind of tracked it down to the second quarter, which is the father, which is all about control and authority. And she did tell me that, how the father figure for her had the control, areas of control and with money. So it was just like she was able to release the patterns and have a breakthrough. So it's when I put it that way, is like she wanted to be visible, and a website probably would get her more money and more visibility. But the block that was there, it's her own block from her core wound, which she was able to then release. So that's just one. And I did have another client that wrote to me saying that she experienced like a lot of purging after experiencing the program. And she did write back saying that it's something that she had never experienced before. And I did send her a few codes and healing, and following that, she felt more attuned with her body, and she started moving from the space of security. And this again ties back to the mother energy, which is the first quarter. And we did see that there were some patterns that she had to release there. So these are few of these incidents and these stories that I have, where people have felt the shift firsthand, while just seeing and realizing that the pattern exists and they can overcome that.
Yeah, I love that. And I'm very excited to grab some callers, start to open this doorway. And I wouldn't be surprised for the rest of us kind of listening as we kind of work and we open up the 0 point energy. Maybe things are going to come in from this activation and this personal work we're going to do with a few people, for people just plugging in and watching the replay, just plugging in and being a part of it. So I do think, would it be great to turn on people's cameras, Sunil, if we work with them? Is that something that might be helpful?
Yeah, sure. I think
Okay,
that works.
so if y'all have your hand raised, let me know if you can turn on your camera. That would be great. I think we got a few people. I'm going to go with Carmel and Silva. They got their cameras on already. So Carmel, I'm going to call on you first. And Sunil, I'm going to let you kind of guide this. So let me see. Okay, looks like Carmel, you're ready to go. Let me add a pin here. Hi, Carmel. How are you?
Hi, Darius. Thank you very much. I am very good. And I was born in 72 as well, so we're the same age.
Awesome. I
Yeah.
love it. Good year.
Yes. My camera's all fuzzy. What was I going to say? Yeah, so thank you, Sunil.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So is there
So yeah,
something that you're struggling with or
Oh,
something that you kind of
so
have
I
a big
have to,
question
sorry.
about?
Okay, so let me see. What would I ask about? The right side of my body has this kind of weird electrical type energy going through it. And I kind of have a slip disc in my back. So either of those issues, and they kind of seem connected. And maybe it's kind of like me blocking my gifts in a way. That's what I think.
right. So sorry, Darius, are we doing the process with her right now?
Yeah,
Do
I
you want?
think we
Okay.
should. Yeah, if
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. I'm just
Yes,
going to switch
please.
the camera. Do you have some color and papers with you?
Yeah, I have a pen and I have a paper.
Okay.
Hmm.
So I'm going to work with you here.
Okay.
So I just like to firstly let's center, and if you could close your eyes for a moment.
Okay.
And while you do that, just imagine yourself being in a bubble which is going to allow and contain the energy that you're going to bring in and out. And just take a deep breath in and take your attention to the area where it's hurting, or it's this chronic pain. Just
Hmm.
no need to analyze it, just bring your attention there and take a deep breath in and breathe out. Yeah, I do see a color, and I'll request you to pick a color, any color. And
Orange.
okay, so strangely, I did see the yellows and like a warm tone, which I'm going to.
Sorry, Sunil, I didn't get that.
I received a warm tone, and you said orange, and I saw yellow. So we are at,
Okay.
yeah, it's something which we are we're kind of, it's linked. So I would like you to just use your paper, and
Hmm.
whatever naturally comes to you, just go on and freely move your hands without any judgment, without any layers. Just move your hands while I bring down some codes for you. you might feel the area that we first put an attention to, kind of the intensity. You might feel some kind of heat. Activating those codes. Okay, I'm seeing another color. If you could just draw any color on your paper, whichever you feel drawn to. So just close your eyes here. The activation is completed. I just like to integrate this and so that you receive it. Yeah. Just take a deep breath in and release all the pain. Thank you.
Sunil, can you show us what came forward? Is that okay? Can we see it? I know she
Yes.
may want to see it. I think we're gonna have to figure out a way to get her a copy of that too.
Thank
So
you.
If you
this,
can, yeah, scan it in and then we can maybe email it to her if that's okay. But can you show us what it is?
yeah. Uh, so any kind of release work that we do right now, this is a release work for the pain that she was feeling. And when she mentioned the pain, the first color that came through was a warm tone. And that's what I saw, and that's what I got down. So, also there's an acute pain somewhere at the center of her back, which she's trying to balance, and it's going through the lower back. So, you know, what I would suggest is, Darius, if this is a release work, so usually when I work with clients and if it's a release work, it's best that they purge it.
Okay.
So, yeah, so the thing with purging is that this is something that she had to see and she's received it.
Whoa,
So,
okay, so now you're gonna just purge that image, correct?
yes, I'm going to tear it
Okay.
at my end, and she's going to receive it anyway because I have sent in the
Ooh,
codes. So this physical form right now is just a piece of paper because you've already received the codes and
Yeah.
you've already been it has been integrated. So you will feel the change. Please just be gentle and kind because you might feel like certain kind of I wouldn't say it aches. It's not an uncomfortable pain, but there will be certain shifts that will help you to go through this whole process smoothly. All right.
what are you
Thank you.
feeling, Carmel? What was going on or what
Well,
is going on as he's purging this
yeah,
now?
thank you so much, Sunil and Darius. It felt like I got this shooting pain where it's really intense in my back. And then my leg, which has on the right side, is always got this pain in it, and that has gone. And it's got this lovely warm feeling down the right side of my leg. So it just left like in a second.
Yes.
And then what came to me, it kept coming to me, power, accept your power. Don't try and hold it back. That was the message. And it was really loud. Let your power out, if you like. And then the blue kind of was like, speak your power out. That's what it felt like.
God
So yeah,
bless.
thank you very much.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh, that is
Yeah,
incredible. And you
it
know what?
really is like the
Yeah,
message
go ahead.
was so clear. It was like somebody speaking in my head saying, power, power, let your power out. Speak your truth, let it out. And I have been struggling with that for so long. Amazing.
God
What is
bless.
Yeah.
very interesting is we're the same year, right? And speaking
Yeah.
of leg pain and shooting pain and back, I mean, it sounds a little bit like sciatic misalignment,
Mm.
and I had that over the summer, and I mean that was
Wow.
like 4 or 5 months ago. So anyway,
And
it's
is yours
amazing.
better now, Darius?
Oh yes, it got a lot better. It was a flare up,
Brilliant.
and I worked on a lot of things, and I had these awarenesses, and it shifted.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Fantastic. Well, so
sending love to
what,
you.
just thank you so much. And what cycle are we in then as 72?
Yes, so you're right now in the self phase, which is the return. So the return is all about asking yourselves, who am I? So you're trying to build an identity, and you will find um, these do. I can't say that these are core wounds because you're assimilated whatever you have felt in the first 3 quarters, and
Mm-hmm.
you might see that, or probably might resonate. You know, um, difficulty in committing to a path or a
Yes.
relationship.
Yeah.
So, so it's coming strongly. So these things are, in your cycle of self, you might have felt the pain, which was the initial years, which was the 22 to 28 years. That was the initial core wound that came between those years.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, so just have, I don't know if you would be able to backtrack and see what those core wounds were, because it's all about, you're trying to find yourself in those years, and something that you need to visit those years, because that
Yes.
once you see that, those patterns will start emerging, and you'll start dissolving those patterns, and that will help you to move forward easily.
Th- Thank you so much, and thank you for your lovely, gentle energy. It's I appreciate it a lot. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
he's
you.
awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really
Oh,
great.
sorry.
Thank you, Carmel. Keep us posted. And yeah, we're going to go to Silva. And I know we got a lot of folks. I think, Silva, we're going to go to you now. Do you have a question for Sunil? We may end up doing something very similar, whatever comes forward. What's going on, Silva? How can we help? Let me make sure the audio is working. Okay. I'm not sure I can hear you, Silva.
Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, now we're good.
Okay. Hello, Sunil. Hello,
Hi.
Darius. Nice to be
Hi.
here today. Thank you for
Yeah.
picking me. As I said, I'm 60 years old, and lately I've felt a lot of memories shooting up from my childhood, which makes sense with what you're saying. In the past year and a half, I've dealt with the 5 stages of grief for separation from a partner of 28 years. And as I'm going through that, a lot of it kind of related to memories from my childhood and patterns from when I was very young. And a lot of memories are coming up from my mom. And I love my mom. She was a super, super person, very outstanding, but she had a very bad nervous problem. And I was always scared. It's not that she didn't love me, she did, but she also used physical punishment. So I was terrified at school and I was terrified at home, and I I'm still feeling like these issues are coming up, and especially in the past, I, I'd say, year.
Right. So something very specific is coming through you, as in it's asking me to do something very specific for you.
Okay.
We will first do the work, and then we'll, because you already have addressed what the issue is, and you've already backtracked it to where it started. So the awareness is there. So what we'll do is we'll try shifting that, and um, let's do this. So if you could, do you have a paper and some colors with you?
I have a paper and I have all my coloring pencils.
Okay.
Awesome.
I'm just gonna switch the view so you can see what I'm bringing down.
Should
Yeah,
I
this
use
is
my left hand when I pick?
No, please.
No.
So you use your dominant hand.
Okay.
Yes, because you need to innately feel what you're bringing down. Because sometimes your left hand might not do that for you. So it's asking me to firstly for you. It's asking me to create like a container. So however you feel the container needs to be, just draw it on the paper. I won't do it here first, so that you bring in the signature first. Just make a container, however the container is. Like what I'm
Okay.
seeing is something like a simple container as such. And just for a moment, I'd like you to close your eyes,
Okay.
and I'd like you to channel and think about the the pain. Just bring in the pain that you are feeling. Just not to analyze it, just to bring it in your space to sense. And I'd like you to pick any color, just pick any color that represents that pain. And I'd like you to just fill the container with that pain.
Purple?
Okay? So take the color, and you said purple?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to work with you here, Silva. So however you feel, you need to fill. You don't need to, just feel the pain, however the strokes are. I'm seeing a lot of rigid,
Mm.
it's not smooth, so there's a lot of turbulence. Yeah. Just bring in some healing.
Sunil, your audio changed a little bit. I'm not sure if your mic flipped. So I'll let you know how it sounds. Shifts again. It's funny, I always say when we go deep into energies, the technology starts to just go wild. So it looks like you're back. Good.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of surge with what she's feeling, and what it's like taking me a lot of, I would say it's coming through. This is the healing that is coming through. So there's a lot of surge here. Silva, I'll just take a moment and just breathe in, and breathe out. Yeah.
Mm.
I'm transmitting these codes to you, so just be centered and channeled. You are receiving them. I'd like you to open your heart center and receive them with ease. All right. Let me know how you feel.
I feel tingly,
Yes.
emotional.
Mm.
Gratitude. I feel thankful. I feel my hands. I feel like I need to rub my hands.
So before you purge this at your end,
Mhm.
give it gratitude for showing up, because that's what it's asking me to do. Give it gratitude that it came in your space and it showed in whatever form that you've got it down, and then purge it, because that's what the release is going to be easier for you.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
So whatever you've felt in your earlier years, you did backtrack that in the perfect sense that whatever we experienced. So it's true that what you're facing right now is the first quarter between the 0 to 7 years. So that's the pain that you're carrying, and not anymore, because right now we've purged it, and we've given it gratitude for showing. And you will feel the ease. You will see that there'll be a sense of calmness. You'll feel secure. You'll feel safe. And it's something that you won't be able to explain, because you'll feel it
Yes.
inside. So,
I do feel it.
yes.
It was one
So,
of the reactions was gratitude.
yes.
Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sunil.
All right, I kind of don't want that to end. I can feel this container, and I'm going to ask everybody if y'all can feel it too, because I had this sense that we would also feel this, or we would also be in the presence of this energy. So let me know. Yeah, Odile said I can feel energy moving in my head. Is the energy working on people right now? I don't know if it's working on everyone, but I feel like there's a field definitely that we can perceive. Explain a little bit about that. What is this field that other people are feeling, Sunil?
So, since we're working as a group, there are certain aspects. That's the best part about this work, is even if when I'm working and I'm bringing down codes for, let's say, one specific person, but as a group, when you're experiencing it, the codes that you receive are specifically for you, what you require to see and what you require to shift. So the shift that people are experiencing right now is very specific for what they are feeling. So that's the best part about these codes, is that even if I'm doing a group process,
Mhm.
whatever you do at your end, it's like a personalized grid that you have for yourself if you're doing manifestation. And if it's a release work, then it's your personalized work that has shown up for you only. So only you, your higher self, will understand what it is, so that you can release that and move away from that block.
Beautiful. Silva, just checking on you, and then we're going to go to a group process. How are you doing, and what's happening?
I'm feeling really, really light
Good.
and not as anxious and not as stressed, and all of that's just lifted. Thank
Beautiful.
you.
Thank
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 you.
you.
you. Thank
Thank
you.
you for sharing. Okay, well, we're going to let you go and just be and bask. I love that. Gratitude, that's a big shift. When I heard that, I was like, yep, that's the complete shift right there, and the start of it. So I know we have a group process, and I am just kind of buzzing as well. I'm almost seeing colors and grids. I mean, I feel very calm. So I'm not sure where we're going to take this with the group, but Sunil, for sake of time, I'm going to let you dive into the group process and tell us what we're going to do. And I'm going to leave the live streams. I think it's a very general energy. So if any of y'all are listening on YouTube or Facebook, I'm going to leave it running, because I think people are going to be okay. But do not listen and watch or be driving or anything, because while it's gentle, I can feel a lot of layers kind of opening up. So please be careful with this energy while it's gentle. There's a lot coming in that you may start downloading or seeing. So Sunil, tell us what we're going to do, and then we'll let the group process unfold.
Okay. So what you're going to do here is, like I mentioned earlier, is the 0 point activation. So we're going to integrate these codes so that we all have them, and it becomes easy to make the shift. Whatever you're trying to release, it becomes easier. So I'm just going to switch the view so that the codes are always in front of you. What I would like you all to do is just close your eyes and have a sheet of paper and some colors with you before you do that. Just as a gentle reminder, we are not creating art. So just free your mind and remember, this is a process that will assist you to feel and bring down the codes that you require for your highest good. So just take a moment and notice yourself as you are right now. Just notice the breath. Notice the space you're in. See if there is any weight in your mind or anywhere in your body. You're simply observing how you're arriving at this moment. So take your time. Now together we'll just take a deep breath in and let it out. I've started to activate the codes, so you will feel it. We're simply shifting from the thinking space into the sensing space. So just be aware. So I'm just going to place a protection shield around each one of you and myself. I seek the guidance from true masters and the higher dimensions to bring in pure love and light. I feel supported. We all feel supported, and we hold a clear and safe space for this activation. Now slowly open your eyes. Before you begin, I would like you to simply look at the surface of the paper in front of you. This surface will be the space that will show you what you're ready to shift. And now, just gently hover your hand over the colors, and while you do that, sense a color in your mind's eye, whichever color you've been pulled towards. Let it be intuitive without trying to make a decision. The color you pick is your guiding hue. So when you're ready, pick that color and hold it above the paper. Do not touch the paper yet. Now, briefly, just close your eyes with the color hovering over the paper in your hand, and ask your higher self, what direction do you see your hands move in? You may see it, or you may sense the energy just go down your hand. So just take a moment and see what it's asking you to do. All right. Now that you have that, open your eyes, and I'd like you to freely bring that energy that you saw on the paper. And I'm sending the codes to you. This is going to activate your 0 point field. The codes are gently moving into my hand and being transmitted through my voice. So if you feel your hands being pulled in a direction, just follow it through. If it fumbles or even if it stops, that's fine. It's meant to happen. It's your energy speaking to you. So just honor that and follow your hands the way it wants to move. I can feel the tingling sensation in my fingertips. Some of you might feel that your breath has shifted. Just allow that to happen. Allow whatever you're feeling. There is no right or wrong here. Just bring it down onto the paper. So the codes I'm transmitting here is going to anchor and support what you're creating at your end. Just going to give it another moment, and I'm sensing that the transmission is coming to an end. I am going to just release my hand gently. So all the codes are aligned specifically with you and what you need today. So just in your mind, you can repeat this. This came from my 0 point field. It reflects what I'm ready to see. I acknowledge this truth and I welcome this shift. The activation now is complete. Thank you. So what you've got down is a remembrance on your sheet. Since this was an activation work, whatever you have with you, you can keep that. There's no need to purge it. This is now, these codes is just in a physical form on a sheet of paper, but they have been integrated through your hands and into your body and into your system. So there is this, keeping the physical form is for you to just remember the codes are integrated within you. Thank you.
Wow. Let us know, everyone, what you're feeling and what came forward for you as we open up this doorway, this gateway. Sunil, I want to say I kept actually kind of looking at on the computer my rendering, my drawing, and it's kind of like I kept getting more and more energy out of this particular rendering, and I started getting like the next level of this. So this has stayed open, and as you brought in the 0 point, it's like there were worlds and doorways in this and other things to explore and open up to. And just this whole experience has just been like it's just an acceleration, like out of a very like stagnant sort of, light in the dark type experience to like just blowing the doors open for me. But I want to hear from everyone else. Like, what are you experiencing? What happened? What started coming forward? Or maybe what are you feeling? What are you sensing? What are you remembering? Let us know because as we do this, it's going to continue, and I'm very curious how y'all are doing. So let us know, and we're gonna dive in here. Let's see what's going on with everybody, and if everybody's okay. What did you draw? Do you want to show us? You can certainly we could unmute you or show your screen. We'd love to see that. One person said, interesting. Having lots of insights, telling me the age was really eye-opening, so profound. Thank you so much. Silva, beautiful. Thank you so much. I think we worked with Silva, of course. Carrie drew spirals and waves. And Carrie, I wanted to find you here. I'm sorry. My message was be kind, says Carmel, mostly to myself, to on being let go of being tough on myself and to forgive. Interesting. Carmel, I forgot what age you were at. I know you wrote that in, as I'm curious how this correlates. Okay, Carmel, I think, oh, Carmel was the one we worked on. She was born at 72. Yep, in 72. Silva, I let my hand move and it's doodles that are random. Interesting. Very interesting. Yeah. What do you find, Sunil, that a lot of people kind of start downloading or drawing? Are they random things or do they all have meaning? Do we want to overthink it? Do we want to just let it go? Martine also wrote in, it's about freeing myself. And Martine, I'd be curious what you drew as well, or what if you drew anything at all. I'm curious about that. But Sunil, any guidance here? Some interesting things are coming in. I want to see everyone's drawings like so bad, but I don't know if we can. If anybody wants to show us, let me know. I'm very curious about that. But what are you sensing, Sunil, is coming in for folks?
Yeah, so this is being the first activation. There is, like I mentioned, that there's no right or wrong. So whatever they've got down, sometimes, the first time when I work with a client, it's usually um, doodles because that's what naturally comes through. Uh, Most of the times, I also see that it's just colors and forms. It's absolutely abstract. So, making sense of that at my end would be, in a way, the person who's got it down knows exactly what it is.
Yes.
So they just need to channel and ask themselves what this is, and they will receive an answer. So it's always there within them. So they just need to connect with this the 0 point activation, and they will receive the guidance from this activation.
I love that. And there's no judgment. There's no trying to label it or understand it. Like it's actually all divine wisdom coming in. I drew a quarter of a moon back and forth, then it went free flowing. Mine looks like a landscape with a huge sun, says Martine, and the lines are like a transcript. Odile drew the moon with the quarter. I want to show y'all a better picture of mine, and I want to talk about. Oh, there we go. Someone is showing me here. Hold on one second. Let's see what's going on. Oh, wow, interesting. Are you seeing that, Sunil, or is it just me?
Yes. No, I am.
Somebody's taking control of my Zoom. Good for y'all. Very cool. Very
Yes.
cool. Oh my gosh. All right. Well, I'm gonna seize back control here. And I want to show everybody mine that I drew with the deeper session. I want to talk a little bit about that and what's going on because one of the things that we've been doing is opening up some opportunities. Let me show y'all mine. Where is mine? Hold on one second. I want to show y'all mine. Let me refresh the page. Show y'all here. This was the one I drew. when Sunil did the full activation. And this is the one I was looking at that's actually still kind of flowing, that's still giving me information and insights. And one of the things we're doing for people that want to dive in, Sunil, explain a little bit about what's happening because in this deeper work, if you are someone who feels stuck decade after decade, or you're in a new phase in your life, or you want to enter in a new phase, Sunil, you are doing private energetic art remembrance sessions with people here at UWealth Revolution, and I'm going to share where it is. Diane, if you can pop that link in, it's at uwealthrevolution.com/Sunil, SUNIL 30, and you can check out my art and also more about what we're doing. But Sunil, anything you want to share about this? And I'm going to hand the screen over to you just for a moment, but tell us what's kind of happening, and then we're going to talk more about what you're doing because this is a full program. It's not just the energetic art, it's also the Saturn method, but you're going to be taking people through their own session, their own remembrance session as well. So tell us about it.
Yes. So with the Saturn method, the first thing that we'll be seeing is what are those patterns that you're, feeling or sensing, and then we'll track it back to the core wound. So also, since Darius, you mentioned about the private session, that's part of the package. So depending on what the project that you're handling, we'll be looking at which core quarter that you're in the Saturn cycle, and work from that point. So depending on where you are on the cycle, I'll be bringing in the guidance and codes while you're doing the shift like we just experienced right now. And each call is going to be looking at a specific quarter. So we'll be addressing all the core wounds, and each call also has very specific, the one that Silva received, very specific instruction to do.
Okay.
So that we release those patterns. So the Saturn methods is very specific instructions and art sessions. So depending on which quarter we are working on, those art sessions are split into two. The first one is the release work, and the second one is going to be the manifestation work. So we're going to do some release, and then we'll do another activity where it's only manifestation, and see what we can bring in from after releasing the core wound. So that is, we'll be looking at each, so there are going to be 4 calls, and each call is going to be for each quarter. And also these are group calls. Like I mentioned, that each group call, no matter what I bring down or what you're working at your end, it's going to be personalized to what you need to release. And, at that moment, see, because it's all about when you're ready, you'll see exactly what you're shown. So you won't see more than that. So that's the whole Saturn method.
Well, I want to share a couple things because it's super cool because we didn't even get to talk about the manifestation yet, which is awesome. But this offer is going to have 45 minutes of private time with Sunil one-on-one. Then they're going to be 4 1-hour sessions that are going to be between Sunil and everyone in this group, right, Sunil? So it's kind of like they're going to get the time with you, and then in these 4 sessions, these group calls, you're going to be actually doing all of this, and they're going to be actively downloading, being activated, bringing in these cosmic receptors through the art. It's going to be pretty awesome, I got to say. This is just so unique and cool. Let me walk through this for those that have a question. I'll get off of my art here, but this is for people, if you've been kind of feeling like stuck decade after decade, year after year, or maybe you've entered in kind of like I have, right? A new chapter, right? Which you identified. Like, I am moving now into another chapter, and I'm like, why are things different? Or why do I have certain feelings? Or what do I need to understand? Or what is it that wants to emerge for this new time in my life? And you don't want to stumble around or just have this weird feeling. Like, let it come through you because you're the master, right, Sunil? And let this gateway open and activate your cosmic receptors, like through the hand, through this connection that we have. And so if that's you, then this is a really amazing opportunity. And what the Saturn method does, it reveals the karmic chapters that are etched into your soul's timeline, and the energetic art remembrance helps you release the blocks, download the wisdom, and accelerate the ascension. And there's my beautiful thing. And so it's just one offer. It's 177, and it supports Sunil's work as he's getting this out as an exclusive for You Wealth Revolution. And I want to walk through this. There's lots of stories of shifts, but for those wondering, you're going to get a personal session with this wonderful soul here, and it's 45 minutes. Then we're going to have the live group calls. Now, I want to kind of focus on this because I know a lot of people will say, gosh, I want to do this. Tell me how these work. What is it maybe they need to be aware of, what they need to maybe bring, how they would prepare. Explain a little bit more about these expressive art sessions.
Right. So for the sessions, you basically need to bring a few papers, plain papers and colors like you did today. And also just be in the awareness and openness of just receiving whatever comes through. So if I would say, like, the preparation is from being not judging yourself, because I usually have new clients saying that, oh, I can't draw at all. Oh my God, my teacher told me that I can't draw. None of that. So you just bring yourself, and what we'll be doing is exactly what we did today with those one-on-one sessions, where I'll assist your shift with the codes that I'll bring down, and while you're also making the shift at your end. So we'll be purging, and also if there is a manifestation exercise coming through or any kind of information or codes coming through, I'll be guiding you through that. So those 45 minutes are going to be depending on what project you're handling and which cycle you're on and which quarter you're on in the Saturn cycle. I'll be specifically guiding you through that, the whole process.
I love that. And I love that you're going to be doing the purging with people too as to what needs to be purged, because we already saw that was very powerful. I mean, some big shifts in people just on this call who we got to work with for a few minutes, much less, not even 45 minutes. And just an update, like, guys, this is all I had for my session. I'm not saying you need this many or whatever, but just a few different colors, things could be, right, Sunil, crayons, different color. It could be just whatever is going to work. So it doesn't need to be a big production. Just have it ready. And then they move through that. You do the purging if that's necessary, or the manifestation work. Tell me about that, because a lot of people are wanting to manifest different things. How does the manifestation side of this differ from what we did today? Because I don't think we did manifestation. We did more purging. What do you do in that part of it?
So the manifestation usually follows after we've purged and released, because you can't create anything new if you have something filled already. So you need to empty the space. So once you've done that, the manifestation works in this program. The way that we work is each quarter has a specific activity. For example, if I have to just mention about the father, we'll be clearing the lineage and all the burden that you've been carrying from your father's side, and that's the clearing part.
Oh, that's great.
And so, for example, in the third session, where it's the teacher, the search, we'll be navigating through a complex pattern that, the confusion that you built, and navigating through that. So that these are very interesting and very specific instructions that I received, that it must be this way. And I did challenge it. I did say that let's move it this way, because the artist in me wants to make it good, but I've been instructed to keep it the way it is, so that it gets its full effect and people feel the full effect. So manifestation work is also going to be the same. We'll have the activity around manifesting whatever you need to in that moment, whatever is there in your mind, you will be manifesting that. So yeah.
I love it. And I want to share, we've kind of dived into the live calls a little bit, which I want to talk about. It's at youwealthrevolution.com/Sunil, SUNIL 30. And let me go to so we have the one-on-one sessions. There's only one, package, and you get everything. And so you have 45 minutes with this wonderful gentleman here. Sunil is going to be helping you to activate these cosmic receptors, going to be using the 0-point energy, the 0-point symbol, the 0-point grid, the codes. You're going to be drawing, and purging, and then figure out what it is maybe you want to move into in your life. And he's going to be helping you through this. So really special. You're going to get to see him. So these are going to be video, for most people, and you're going to get to experience that. Now, let me go into these live calls that you're doing. So they're all here, but we can kind of unpack these, because what I find is lovely is you are going to be breaking these up into each of the 4 stages, right, Sunil? So
That's right.
if you all are wondering about what stage you're in, it's basically, as I remember it, and please correct me, Sunil, every 7 years you're in a new phase, and
Yes.
then they repeat. So based on kind of the math, you can figure this out. But let me go through the phases, because if y'all didn't catch that the first time, we've got it all on the page here for you. So the first phase is the foundation, the mother. It's the first 7 years. You're also going to be doing this on the first call. So tell me about this first call. What are you going to be doing here, and why is this going to be helpful for people?
Yeah, this is the most important call as we start, as it's the foundation. And this is the earliest 7 years where the imprint starts showing. So depending on the stage where the body first, realizes whether it's safe or
Yeah.
it needs to stay alert. So, and these imprints form, like I mentioned, it's before the language, and they are beneath the conscious mind. So most patterns trace around feeling safe are back to these layers. And the energetic art remembrance allows the body to express what is ready to release, and the work is gentle and it's very contained. So once we finish the sessions, the first call, the benefits that you'll see is increased grounding and balance, and you'll have a strengthened energetic boundary. So at some times, we fret to say no, but you'll find the ability and the strength to say no with clarity. And also, I've noticed that you'll have regulated sleep cycles, and you'll have deeper rest and more energy to work, and you'll have a stabilized nervous system also. So even everyday work seems like you're in one with yourself. So that's the benefit of the first call, which is the first session. The second session is where we'll be moving into the father stage, and this stage is where the nervous system learns to how to relate to rules and limitations and responsibilities, and it shapes our inner relationship with authority. So the father figure, if most times, if the patterns would be like, if we might find ourselves too controlling, or that's where it comes from, the core wound of this quarter. So the release work will help in healthier relationship with responsibilities. So you'll find the ability to engage with commitments without feeling burdened, and you'll have a clearer energetic boundary. So anyone who's struggling with a work life, personal life, this is the call where you'll start sensing the change. You'll have enough time at both ends, and you will not know how you made time. So
Wow.
they'll start becoming easier, and a stabilized sense of protection and support from within. So you're feeling held internally. That's the sense that you'll get overall.
So a quick question. These are
Yes.
active calls where they are going to be also downloading through the cosmic receptor of their hand, the symbols, the shapes, the renderings that are going to help them release this and move on to the next chapter in their life.
So the rendering and the downloading is going to happen in the one-on-one sessions.
Okay.
The calls are going to be, like I mentioned, they are very structured. So we'll have activities which will specifically clear the prints, the imprints. So the
okay.
core purpose of these activities is that you clear that pattern, so that you start seeing those patterns in your life and start looking above that. So if I did share the stairway of consciousness with you, which is the way that we move upward. Every time that you meet, someone asked me what happens after 28 years. Do we see those same cycles repeat? So you will see the same wounds, but it will be of a higher intensity, but you will be also consciously growing.
Yes,
So that's how it will work. So the calls are going to be different, where it's specific activities. The one-on-one sessions with me will be where we'll be bringing on the codes and all the information and the codes to integrate or to release or to move deeper. So it's
I
more
love
for
that.
deeper work. Yeah.
Okay, understood. And then you're going to move into the teacher and then also the return to self. And what I really love about this, Sunil, is that when people are able to release and master these different phases, you're paving the way for more self-mastery for the rest of your life because we're going to be moving through these phases in some way, shape, or form. And you don't have to have blame about mom or dad or any of that. It's just about coming into wholeness, awareness, gratitude, like
That's right.
Silva felt, right? This type of big shift energy that doesn't necessarily put blame or scarcity or lack or judgment. It's just a wholeness. And I love that. So there are the other sessions, the dates are on the page, and I would advise people to kind of read through them. They're all included, but I do want to talk about this because one of the things you told me to listen to was this Awakening Cosmic Receptors. So this is going to help people to actually start today. Tell me about this. This is item 3. It's included in the program. What is this about? And what is the first? This would be the first thing probably people want to start going into because they're going to have it immediately, right? So tell us about it.
Right. So we all are made with, we were born with one frequency, and
Mm,
that's the most, that it's like a signature frequency that we resonate to. And the cosmic receptors are basically, they're all what we'll do here with this activation. And this is just an audio where I have brought down, I'll just show it to you. So this is the download, and this with this download I've also channeled and gotten the codes in an audio format. So you will, when you listen to this audio, and you will be working as well, like how we did today, you'll start calibrating and opening the gateways for your cosmic receptors. So starting today, if you start listening to the more you listen, also the more these codes are activated, and you'll find that the inner steadiness and self-recognition grows. So there'll be more clarity and inner alignment, and also coming back to oneself. So that's what this beautiful awakening of cosmic receptors does. And I've also gotten it's with a background sound, so you'll have the whole experience while you're listening to it. It's meant for you to relax while you're also working on your healing. So it's going to be interesting.
wow, that is very interesting. I want to get to some questions that people may have, and it's a very straightforward opportunity to work with this wonderful soul to activate something maybe that most of us have never activated. I mean, I certainly have never done anything like this in all the years of UWealth Revolution, which has been almost 16 years now. I didn't know that I had this in me. I didn't know that this wisdom was wanting to come through, although I suspected it, like a lot of you might suspect that there's something else to you that's multidimensional. I didn't really piece together that this was my time for self, although we talked about this probably about 3 months ago, and I was like, yeah, maybe, I don't know. And then it started unfolding, and then now I realize you were 100% right. And so I just find that this really is so key, especially where we are right now in the new year, but also in this new time on the earth, and also the new phase that we're all moving in, because we are moving through these phases. And many of you, without having knowing what phase you're in, it's a complete different awareness to say, oh, I'm in that phase. Now I understand what I'm here to do. I understand where I want to go. So I love it. But I want to share, you also have a another gift that I think people are going to go right into, and it's a expiring bonus between now and Sunday at midnight called the Soul Alignment Pulse. Recalibrate to your true frequency. So tell us about this, Sunil. What is the Soul Alignment Pulse?
So this is to activate your subtle sensory and intuitive pathways. So it helps you to it just go deeper, and to prepare the system for deeper energetic and intuitive work. So since you're now being introduced to this kind of work, what this does is, and that's why I've kept it as a bonus, because then you can experience it firsthand, that you'll be able to then move through this fluidly. It'll help you when you get onto the program. You're already preparing yourself and moving through this easily. So the whole idea is to be kind of, align your energy so that when you're coming into this field, you are receiving what is best. So that's what it does.
Wow, I love that. Some interesting things coming in. Lydia said she actually drew, she saw a disciple with a big black brush and then wrote a hieroglyph. I can't speak. And he was very proud of his writing. She actually saw a blue color. Oh, she picked a blue color. It ran through me. I also held the color over the paper, but then saw this disciple drawing the hieroglyph. I can't say that today. Wow. I mean, very interesting stuff. For people wondering if they have some higher wisdom that would come through, maybe they think, oh, I don't have that, or I can't do this, or is this too difficult for me, or I don't have anything that I haven't worked through, which could be true. There could be some people that really work through a lot of stuff. So hats off to you. But what have you seen for people that just maybe think, there's nothing, it's not going to work for me? What have you seen with others that are kind of not sure this would even bring forward anything new?
Um, you need to open your mind when you're working and doing this kind of process. We have the reason that I want to make people believe that everything, all the answers are within us. So the more you work with your hand and bring in, and from a very non-judgmental way, so not being judgmental about whatever you're bringing down, it is going to be so if you want to truly manifest something, and if you've channeled the energy, you will be able to do that. Obviously, with the zero activation point, the field, you are going to channel and bring in more power and more creativity, and those doorways are going to open only if you believe that whatever you're going to bring down is. So you need to start believing that you're going to start working with your hand and bring whatever is going to be for your highest good.
Yes. Yeah, I think that knock and you shall find, ask and you shall receive the answer. And we all have the answers in us, and we all have answers locked away from different lifetimes and different remembrances. And I'm also very excited because I do feel like many people will be downloading symbols and energetic coding and things that could help others and even help themselves and unlock this in them. So it's a real interesting opportunity. Check it out. It's at youwealthrevolution.com/Sunil, Sunil 30. And, as we go through this and activate, I was amazed at how the live callers felt things move out of their body. We had one person, dear soul, who had like discomfort lift. We had another person, challenges with, past memories from mom and from childhood, and these things just kind of moved and lifted. What is it about the 0 point energy and what you downloaded that you feel is helping? And I don't know if it's that or just your space or your energy, but how would you describe what we saw on this call today? Because it was pretty remarkable.
It's a synergy of their allowance for letting me work with them, and
Yeah.
also what I bring through. So if today we did the activation and also the one-on-ones that I did, the quick ones which we did on the call today, it's the permission that they've given to have that the codes in their space, and what they've got down as the container that they're working in helps them to release quickly. So it's like a synergy of work. So they need the codes to move forward, and that's why we did the activation today. So they have that with them.
Yeah. And I love it. Thank you, Sunil, for being here and doing this for us and just opening up this space. It really is
Thank you.
just gorgeous and amazing. And what makes me feel so happy is that people start to realize the power and the wisdom they have that is able to come through them, come through their cosmic receptor, their hand, come through their guidance, come through their wisdom. Any words for anybody who feels like it's not possible or that maybe they're going to just relive the same pattern over and over again, and there is no end to maybe the suffering or the challenge? Because, we all kind of go through that. We go, is this really all there is, or why is it so hard, or why am I still bumping up against the same thing over and over again? What would you say to those people who feel like they've kind of given up hope that there can be an exit to this?
I would say that it's best to experience this firsthand, because once you learn how to see the patterns, which we're going to do on this in this program,
Mm,
once you learn how to see the patterns is when you'll start moving away from that, because the reason that it's a vicious cycle is because the the pattern is not understood. So once you
hmm
see it is, and with a clear chart, when you understand that this is where I'm at, this is what the focus point is, you're more aware. It's like you already have those the powerful codes and you're running into battle, so obviously you are going to defeat so whatever comes your way. So and I would say I will leave with this saying that pick up the use your hands, because now you have the activation codes. So start using your hands and experience it firsthand. It is going to change.
I have a very interesting thing that I shared yesterday. I know we're going to let people go here in a minute. I just love this container. I love your energy and your heart. I've noticed now after our one-on-one session, because we went deep and you activated everything I write, everything that I create with my hands, like it feels like it has just such deeper wisdom and connectivity to something way beyond this reality that it's just different. Like I've been just drawing stuff now, and it's like I can't even tell you if you've ever heard of like automatic writing or channeling or downloading wisdom or being able to interpret or map out codes and healing diagrams and all of that. You've wondered, well, how do people do that? This is the doorway. Um, and Sunil, I don't know. Should we tell people who your lovely wife is? Because it may start to make sense if many of you know that Sunil is not a single man. He is actually married. Are we able to say this? Am I going to get in trouble?
You can go ahead and say it, sign.
Well, our lovely Sanat Lakdawala is his beautiful bride, and many of you love Sanat and all of her work, and so Sunil is the other half of that beautiful couple. And the interesting thing is, that Zanat is all about the grids and the beautiful representations of higher energy. So now you see how the universe pairs beautiful souls and beautiful things that benefit us all, and that's Sunil and of course Sanat. So yeah, but I think people will be downloading codes as well, like we've seen, and activating their own power. So I think that's another beautiful thing about this. So I appreciate you doing this and helping folks. It's
Thank
really
you.
profound. Yeah. Well, thank you for being here, everyone. This was fun. We had a surprise at the end. Everyone, check it out. It's at uwealthrevolution.com/Sunil. And I do know he's got limited sessions, so grab these while you can. And it's really like two, three things in one. You get the Saturn method to understand yourself. Then you get the release work through the one-on-one time with Sunil. Then you're also going to get the purge, and then you're also going to get the manifestation work. And then you're going to go through the Saturn method as well, and he's going to help you to understand each of the phases that you're in and shift all of that. So you don't have to be unaware of the hidden map of karma. You can actually break free from that and activate your own gifts. So check it out. And Sunil, thanks again, man. This was
Thank
great.
you.
This was
Thank
awesome.
you so much. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
All
Thank you,
right,
everyone.
thank you everyone as well. I'm gonna send everybody off in big love and just appreciation, and hopefully you start to realize how amazing you are, and that people that do pretty incredible things like Sunil, they just open the doorway. And this is all getting open for us more and more in these times. Like we are realizing our superpowers. We're becoming more and more of the infinite beings that we always are. And sometimes the only way that it comes in is you just stop and you be present to it and you take time to open up that gift and you take time to receive and you take time to open the channel. And that's why working with Sunil, I think, is such an acceleration point. So check it out. And if it's for you, grab it while it's available. These are going to go quick, but we love you, we honor you, and we know that you are evolving in your highest journey and that anything is possible. So thanks for being here. And thank you again, Sunil. This was great, my friend.
you. Thank you. Goodbye. Thank you, Aria. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.